Hello, everyone. Today is January 18th, 2025. I am currently still laying in bed. We are all currently still laying in bed. Today is my last day off, so just enjoying the final little bit of my weekend before I gotta go do my 4 or 5 12-hour shifts, however many it's going to be this week. I am once again eating some Oikos yogurt. As I told you guys a couple days ago, my girlfriend Rebecca went to like a food bank line, and they gave some free food, which included these yogurts. They're pretty good. Maybe not the best yogurt ever. I was yesterday. Yeah, I talked about it in my in the description of the video of why, so I won't go over that again. But it's okay. It's not bad. But the strawberry one, yesterday I had a blueberry. Today I have a strawberry, and I think this one actually is a little bit better than the blueberry one. I'll show you. More creamy and I don't know, tastier. What I'm going to talk about today is actually food. Food colorings, the TikTok ban, this yogurt, actually, etc. So let's start with this yogurt. So, coincidentally enough, I was eating this yesterday, and then I ended up seeing I don't remember if it was a video or a news article about it, and someone pointed out on the back. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it here. On the back it says, where it says keep refrigerated, it says with room for toppings. Let's see if I could. We probably can't see it. It's not going to zoom in. But yeah, so on the back it says with room for toppings, which means that they made the container a little bit larger, supposedly, so that you have quote unquote room for toppings. But what people are saying is it's just trickery. It's not necessarily room for toppings. They just wanted to make the container bigger so it looks like it's more yogurt. It's not more yogurt. It's just more room for toppings. Okay. So this is kind of a good segue into talk about packaging and what's in our foods. And trickery in packaging, all these kinds of things. And again, we'll eventually get to TikTok. So another thing that happened recently in the United States, actually I think just a couple of days ago, is our federal government, FDA or whoever, they banned the food coloring Red 3. It's a food coloring that's added to some foods, and I don't know, maybe some medicines. I heard even some dog foods, but I don't think it's banned in dog foods, but just in human products. It could potentially cause cancer, something like that. But what I wanted to talk about, and the segue from the yogurt to the red 3 ban into talking about TikTok, how they all come together for the purpose of this video, anyways, is sort of, how do I say, people's right to choice. So, I don't know exactly how to say what I'm thinking. So, some people say in the United States, they want the government kind of to stay out of, your business, less government oversight, this and that, right? Some people. The problem with that is, there's a lot of problems with that. But the problem with that as concerning food is if the government stays out of things and then these companies put whatever they want in our food, okay? So yeah, you could have less government oversight, say something like the FDA, okay? Then these food companies are going to go wild and put all kinds of red dyes and another thing that got banned recently was brominated vegetable oil. Actually, that might have just been California. But another potentially whatever cancer causing, whatever, it's unhealthy for you for whatever reason. And so if there wasn't at least some government oversight, again, these companies would go wild and add all kinds of whatever crazy ingredients to their food, and the safety would decline. I mean, I literally work at a potato processing plant, and we have to follow by rules for allergens, for obviously for sanitary reasons, because of government oversight. There was a case recently with some kind of I think like lunch meat, boar's head, where people were dying because, I don't know, it was spoiled or tainted or whatever. So these are the things that happens when there's less government oversight or no government oversight, or things are overlooked or whatever. Foods can become dangerous with additives, with dangerous safety practices, and all these kinds of things. Okay. And so it's kind of a weird fine line. It's like, obviously people want to have freedom, and they don't want to be told what to do. And again, they don't want basically the government in their lives so much, right? But then on the other side, if you absolutely don't have it whatsoever, then again, there's a safety risk or whatever. So it's a weird, it's a fine line that's kind of try to be walked by all governments. Or, well, say like the United States, you want to stay out of people's lives as much as possible, but you want to help protect your people as much as possible. Okay? And so the question is, how much? We're getting to the TikTok thing. How much should you protect your citizens sort of from themselves, or again from these companies or whatever, right? Now that gets into, like I said, all foods. Okay? So with this, with it saying that with room for toppings, obviously that's not a danger thing, but it's the companies, because there's, say, lack of oversight, the company is allowed to have a little bit of marketing trickery and make their packages a little bit bigger, which again makes it seem like there's more yogurt, more product than there is, under the guise of, so there's room for more toppings. So again, with the lack of government oversight, it's not that just companies can make food unsafe. They could do deceptive practices. I mean, say they made this container 2 times as big. Again, room for more toppings. Not hurting anyone, but you're obviously potentially going to fall prey to the marketing and be like, hey, wait a minute, this thing is half empty, or only half full, or whatever, right? And so that's where government comes in and protects its citizens from food safety, allergens, from deceptive marketing practices. Okay, but the big question is, how much should the government step in? Should the government step in and say, oh no, you need to, only make the product so big per how many, how much weight the product is, so it's not to deceive your customers or whatever. How much should the government step in? And now we get to TikTok. Okay? So the big thing with TikTok is the government doesn't care about you making stupid videos or dancing videos or whatever it is nonsense that people do on TikTok. They don't care about none of that. All that goes on YouTube too. They don't care about none of that. The big problem with TikTok is the Chinese government using TikTok to spy on Americans. That's the big problem. Okay? But again, this gets into, how much do you want the government to protect you from other companies, from other governments, whatever it is? And so there's people on one side of, say, of the TikTok debate saying, oh, hey, it's our freedom to be able to, we should be able to use what apps we want. Say people are saying, if we want to use TikTok, and if even knowing, say, that the Chinese government is using their phone to spy on them, to record audio, record video, whatever they're doing, should a person have the right to use it anyways? Okay, that's what some people say. And on the opposite side, obviously people who are concerned about national security, it's like, no, there's like 170 million people in the United States who use TikTok. So that's, say, 170 million devices in the United States or more. Say 170 million devices in the United States that the Chinese government is using, again, to record audio and visuals and location data and whatever else, and whatever they're using it for whatever the Chinese government is using for nefarious reasons. Okay, so again, it's a fine line. It's like you want, as citizens of a country, especially in a free country, supposed free country like the United States, we do have a lot of freedoms, but it's like, how much freedom do you want before it starts to become unsafe? Because Barack Obama made a comment about this one time, regardless if you like Obama or not. I thought this was a pretty good comment. He says you can't have 100% freedom and 100% security, which is really true. You have to fudge on something. If you want 100% freedom, then you're going to lose security, because again, companies are going to have dangerous things in their food, and I mean, there could be like metal shavings in the food. If there's no government oversight whatsoever, no security, no safe, no FDA, nobody's watching the food at the factories we work at. I work at a factory, and yeah, stuff can get nasty and dirty real quick with, mold and just all kinds of bad stuff. So if you have 100% freedom, the government doesn't, bother you whatsoever, you're not going to have 100% security, safety. There's going to be a lot of safety concerns, okay? But then obviously if you have 100% security where the government is way oversight, trying to protect you and your family and the country and whatever, then you have no freedom. Okay, so there's some line in the middle where you have to give up a little bit of freedom for a little bit more safety, or maybe fudge on a little bit of safety to have a little bit more freedom. And again, it comes to things like TikTok. It's like, should we go on the side of freedom with that, or on the side of security? Because we could have it where people are allowed to be more free and use TikTok, but potentially be less safe as a country because a foreign government is literally using that app to spy on us, okay? Or we could err on the side of caution and be more safe, but have less freedom. Ban TikTok, so, TikTok, the Chinese government can't use TikTok to spy on our citizens, but obviously then you have less freedom. You're not able to go on TikTok and make your videos, maybe make money, whatever it is. So this is the big problem, and I'm not here to give a solution. I don't know what the answer is, but my point is that's the big problem. It's the fine line between safety and security and freedom, and it's like where is the line drawn? And like I said, that comes in with even with the yogurt, with the deceptive practices, with TikTok, with the red dye 3 and the brominated vegetable oil. It's like, you want freedom? That's fine, but how much freedom do you want? You want so much freedom that your security is jeopardized, getting faulty products, and I mean, say there was less government oversight, and say you like guns, for example, and there's less government oversight at, say, gun factories, and so guns were needlessly like discharging, or whatever, malfunctioning and hurting people or whatever, or like I said, in food. Even when I was a kid, I think I remember baby food used to come in like little glass jars, and I think there was a lot of instances of them finding like, I don't know if it was like glass shavings in the baby food things, or maybe it was worms, something like that. But again, that's what happens when there's no government oversight. All kinds of stuff gets through, bad stuff, no safety. So yeah, so that's the big question. Where should the line be drawn between having freedom but also having safety? And I don't know. So as far as, say, I'm all for as far as food, I'm definitely for more safety on the food side. So I'm all for banning, the red dyes, and stuff like the brominated vegetable oil, and things that are potentially cancer causing or whatever. It's like, but how much studies do you have to do? Say one government thinks that they do studies and they say, oh, hey, this product seems safe. Another government does studies on say something, and they say, well, no, it seems unsafe. Well, who's right? You got scientists in one country saying it's unsafe, scientists in another country saying, one country saying it's not safe, one country saying it is safe. It's like, well, who's right? And so it becomes difficult. But as far as food, yeah, I would definitely err on the side of caution. Say a little less freedom, and instead of being like, well, I should be able to eat whatever I want, and No, I'd rather have a little bit more government oversight, and as far as food is concerned, anyways, and them watching out for companies trying to put bad stuff in our food. But as far as something like the TikTok, I don't know. I really don't know. My knee-jerk reaction would be to say, yeah, err on the side of safety. If it's literally known that a foreign government is using this app to spy on our citizens, a lot, again, over 100 million of our citizens, it would seem in the best interest of our national security to not have the app. That would be kind of my knee-jerk reaction. But I don't know. Some people want to have freedom and they want to be able to use the app. And they're like, I don't care who's spying on me. I like TikTok. I make money on TikTok, and I don't care if the government's spying on me. So it's hard. It's a hard decision. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, and I don't know what's ultimately going to happen. TikTok, is it going to be banned? I don't know. It could be banned, and then we're getting a new president in a couple of days, and so he could lift the ban. So who knows? Who knows? But regardless, again, it all comes down to this. All this stuff is just a fine line between freedom and security. Do you want more freedom, or do you want more security? You get more freedom, and you get less security. Things are more unsafe. When you get more security, then you lose freedom. So I don't know. Anyhow, that's a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.